Hello, everyone. It is Sarah Waggle, astrologer and leadership coach here. We are here for this full moon in Cancer. It happens December 26th, and we're going to be building up to it the weekend of the holidays if you're celebrating. And so if you are celebrating, Merry Christmas. And if you're celebrating something else, happy something else. Anywho, so let's get into this energy. We are diving into the end of 2023 and the beginning of 2024 are really interesting. There's a lot of dynamic to it. Unlike at the beginning of 2023, where we had Mars retrograde, Mercury retrograde, and it felt like it was really slow. It felt like a really slow, but there was a lot of healing. If you were diving into healing, there was definitely a lot of healing to be had. I know that's where I was at the beginning of this year, was just a lot of healing. And you see that the second half of 2023, I was all over the place. So let's get into this presentation and see what's going on. All right. All right. So December 26th, 2023. And this is the last full moon of the year. And so let's okay, so I took off my social media because I am planning to take a significant social media break probably at the turn of the year. So I took up the social media stuff. I will be finished with my Instagram 365 lives as of December 31st. And so there's that. You can book with me. Of course, I have the basic astrology, which is your sun, your moon, your rising, the dark and light characteristics of both, and things to do with that. You can get a quarterly astrology reading from me. The links for these are below. And the quarterly one will be from January 1 through the end of March, and that booking will be available between now and January 15th. And then I'll open it again at the end of March into April. So you can get Q2 astrology, personal astrology reading. Of course, you can listen to my guest appearance on the Hearts Unleashed podcast with Abigail Gazda. And if you want to book with me, you would need to reach out to me probably on Instagram. Although now that I've just said that, I probably need to give you more of a way to reach me. I will work on that. But you can also, of course, comment down below if you are interested in connecting with me, and we can figure that out from there. But I do talk about breaking up with your victimhood as well as self-acceptance and things like that. You can, of course, join me over on the Awakening Spirit Collective, where I do zodiac season overviews. So there is a video up for Capricorn season, which is December 20th, 1st through January 21st-ish. And then there's several other practitioners. There's a monthly conscious conversation call, group chat. There are all kinds of other features and practitioners over on the Awakening Spirit Collective. So if you're wanting support and you're like, Sarah, I love what you're talking about, but I don't think you're the person, I'm okay with that. And I just want people to be supported in the way that serves them the most, right? I have had multiple clients over the years who I have referred to other coaches, depending on, where they're going, what they're doing, and things like that. And so I focus a lot more on astrology, spirituality, energetic work, and things like that. There are other coaches that focus more on entrepreneurship and creating a small business. So there's all those things. And of course, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I appreciate you. Please like, comment, and share as desired. It really does help the algorithm. It boosts exposure and just getting messages out there. And do that for any one of your friends, right? I've been thinking lately that, if we supported sports, and if we supported our friends doing their thing as much as we supported pro sports or, celebrities or whatever, think about that. Just think about that. Anyway, but I appreciate you no matter what. I appreciate you just tuning into my videos and getting what you need from my videos. Okay, let's get into this. So we are diving into a lot of revealing energy, or revealing information with Pluto at the last degree of Capricorn. Again, we were here once before. Things get revealed. Pluto in 2929 represents like the most mature but intense part of a zodiac sign. It's the last degree of the sign. And so there's going to be a lot of confusing, revealing information with Pluto at 29. And so who knows what's going to be coming out, not only in our personal lives, but certainly globally, with global governments, with just all kinds of different things. And this can create confusion. Okay. We also have some transits that, you know, are sort of amplifying that. But when we have this much truth information, or at least something that's different from the story that you are familiar with, there is a level of cognitive dissonance, meaning you don't want to believe that it's true. And I don't want to get too opinionated, but what I want to say is it's important for all of us to be open to, we may not have learned what is actually true of our planet, of our government, of Hollywood, of all of these things, right? We may not know the truth about them. And the truth is that we may never know the truth about them. And you should always be open to asking questions and learning new information about everything, right? Myself included. I think I just mentioned it on a live the other day that I actually do study topics that debunk astrology, even though this is what I do. I do astrology. But that doesn't mean that there aren't topics out there that debunk astrology. And I'm not talking about Christianity. I'm talking about other things. And Christianity does not debunk astrology. It verifies it. So there's that. Okay. So your sovereignty and your connection to spirit, to a higher power, is going to be important. Because, and you'll see when we get to the transit slide, but you being secure with yourself is going to really matter in the coming stretch of the first part of 2024, right? You're going to need to be able to be secure with yourself. You're going to need to be able to think, what's the word? That's the word I'm looking for. Critically. You're going to need to think critically. You're going to need to make quick decisions, okay? You're going to need to be able to discern information that's coming at you, so that you can choose what is appropriate for you. And let me just tell you, nobody can decide for you what is appropriate for you. And so your sovereignty, your ability to stand your own ground and be in your own, know what's needed for your well-being is going to be important. Okay, journal, word dump, word vomit, however you would like to define it. This is going to be important, because as information floods in, you're going to need to let it out somehow. And so I know a lot of people that I just interact with on a regular have a really hard time falling asleep at night, because when you lay down at night, you get squirrel brain. I get it too. And that's why I journal as much as I do, as well as do a lot of essential oils to help me sleep or unwind or relax my mind. I kind of dump it all out into a journal. Reach out for support when and if you feel it's necessary. Even if you don't, and you're kind of maybe feeling down, this is definitely the time of year for seasonal affective disorder and whatnot, because it's cold, it's dark, it's icky, it's gross, and it's hard to get outside and connect with Earth. And there's not as much foliage and things like that to connect with. And so, reach out for support where you need it, find some social groups if you need it, things like that. But even if you need a support as far as psychotherapy or coaching or whatever, those sorts of things are also available. Okay, forward momentum as 2024 begins. Yeah, we are definitely going to have some forward momentum as the year turns. Okay, so let's get into the planets here a little bit. Of course, Jupiter will be going direct on the 29th. I didn't mention Uranus here because Uranus does not go direct until January 27th. So not in this stretch of time. Mercury is retrograde currently in, as of the full moon, it will be retrograde in Sagittarius. As the Cazimi occurred on the 22nd, just as at 0 degrees Capricorn, just as the sun entered Capricorn, there was the Mercury retrograde Cazimi, meaning Mercury conjunct the sun, or in the heart of the sun. And then, so it'll be retrograde until the 1st, and then it will come back into Capricorn and get to, let's see, through the 1st, and I believe it re-enters Capricorn. Yeah, it re-enters Capricorn, I believe, on the 13th of January, and then it goes into Aquarius on the 5th of February. So we've got a bit of Mercury slowed down here, but the point is that it goes direct on January 1st. Okay. Mars is in Sagittarius until January 4th, and then it will enter its sign of exaltation, which is Capricorn, on January 4th through the 13th of February. So when we have this Mars in Capricorn, January 4th through February 13th, Mars is exalted. It likes to work. It's motivated. It's going to capitalize on what has you motivated. This is what I mean. We got Mercury direct. We got Jupiter direct. We're going to have Mars in Capricorn. We have a lot of good energy to work with as far as momentum, as far as kickstart your year. So hopefully you're not waiting till January 1 to make resolutions, but you've already set some intentions with like the Sagittarius new moon, to really catapult yourself forward with all of this forward momentum energy. Okay. Venus is in Scorpio until the 29th of December, and then it will be in Sagittarius the 29th through the 23rd of January, and then it will move on from there. Okay, let's talk about this. So I noticed a comment that somebody said that the Aquarius looked like ominous. It looked bad. It's not bad, and I'm not going to really spend too much time on this, but I do want to give you this sort of overview. So January 20th, which is a month away, the sun will conjunct Pluto at 29 degrees of Capricorn. The sun will move into 0 degrees Aquarius, then Pluto will move to 0 degrees Aquarius. This creates a domino effect of personal planets conjunct Pluto at 0 degrees Aquarius. On February 5th, we have Mercury. On the 13th, we have Mars conjunct Pluto. And then on the 17th, we have Venus conjunct Pluto. This means that all the personal planets are going to be in Aquarius. So when I say Aquarius season is going to be unlike an Aquarius season we've seen in a hot minute, I said that last year too. I said that about the Aquarius season of 2023, but I think this one in 2024, what I really feel like here is this is a time for you to really focus on yourself. Really go within and focus on the things that light you the hell up. Find those things. Take the time to do self-discovery. Take the time to really pay attention, because there's with Pluto doing what it's doing, there's going to be a lot of shit come out about the world, and you could really get bogged down by what's coming out about the world. And that's fine. No judgment if you do, right? I got people who do, and I've been through mine too, where I got bogged down by what's going on in the world. But to really capitalize on or really use this energy in Capricorn and then Aquarius, focus on yourself. Go within, find the things that light you up. What happens with Aquarius is Aquarius loves community, right? 11th house is about community. Aquarius is the 11th sign of the zodiac. It's about community. It's about groups. So what happens when you have a community? You have this person who's your, you know, plumber, this person who's your mail carrier, this person who's the butcher. You know, you've got all these people who have these different roles in a community. And the question here is, what is your role that you're bringing to the community? What are you bringing to your community or your group of people or your family or however this works for you? So, and I think with the personal planets conjuncting Pluto sort of in a domino effect, I feel like the universe is kind of just like, what's your role? Like it wants to know what your role is, right? So I'm excited for this. I think this is a really good time for people to really focus on themselves, clearing up some karma, ending some relationships, starting some new relationships. We've got forward momentum to really work on projects. We've also got a lot of energy pointing to being creative, with various planets aspecting Neptune. Prior to all these Aquarius transits, Neptune is about creativity. It's about illusion. It's also in spirits, but it's also about creativity and, you know, really digging into your intuitive mind, your intuitive, you know, your third eye, your crown chakra, and really pulling that down into your earthly body, into your lower chakras, and using your lower chakras to create beautiful, brilliant things. Okay, I could go on about that forever. All right, so this is the cold moon. Cancer is a cold-hearted bitch. Anyway, that's not. Okay, so it's at 4 degrees and like 50 some odd seconds. So some people may be saying it's at 5 degrees. Whatever. It's at 4 degrees and 50 some odd seconds. We also want to pay attention to Mercury and Mars that are going to be conjuncting right near the galactic center, which is at 27 degrees of Sagittarius. And so it looks like that's going to happen within a couple of days of this full moon. And so you could be getting, especially with Mercury passing the 27th degree of Sagittarius 2 or 3 times, between it going forward, retrograding back, and then it'll go forward again and pass it again. You could be getting a lot of downloads. There also happens to be the square between Mars and Mercury and Neptune. So a lot of potential for intuitive hits, intuitive downloads, you know, ancestral information, things like that could be coming down. Chiron's going to be going direct shortly after the full moon peaks. And so there could be a lot of things come up around your home, your family, because this is a Cancer moon. Cancer is all about home foundation, emotional well-being and intelligence, maternal mother things, and whatnot. So there could be some things surfacing around that with Chiron going direct shortly after this full moon peaks. And so just some things to be aware of. You know, you could be getting a lot of nudges, you know, and particularly, you know, you could be, if we're talking about the galactic center and getting downloads with Neptune, and I mentioned mom energy, so maybe your mom is deceased or she's not with you anymore, and you could, or maybe your grandmother or great grandmother, you could be getting some downloads and how to move forward from your mom. And, you know, you can think I'm crazy if you want to, that's okay. I'm perfectly fine with that. But the easiest way to do this is to get yourself into a meditative state, and ask your mom spiritually. You can say it out loud. You can just say it in your mind and just make that connection between you and your mom or your grandma, your great grandma, and just ask them, like, how do I move forward? What do I do to move forward? I do this often. I have to say, I do have conversations spiritually with my grandma and my great grandma. And maybe that's why I'm as feisty as I am, because anyway, so definitely want to focus on like foundation, home life, emotional intelligence, emotional stability, because we are working with the Cancer is the cardinal water sign of the zodiac. Water is emotions, cardinal is initiation. And so, you know, a lot of things around that type of energy. And then of course, Capricorn is cardinal earth energy. And so the moon is at home in Cancer, and Capricorn is Saturn's home. And so we have a lot of kind of like mother, father balance type energy, or you could say masculine and feminine, although I think water and earth are both feminine. But because the sun and the moon will be opposing, that's where I'm getting the masculine feminine balance, but I could be inaccurate there. So there you go. Not perfect, guys. What else? Okay. Your sense of security will need to come from within. Then I think that kind of points back to the Aquarius activity that we're going to be experiencing in the early part of 2024. That, you know, the world may feel very insecure and very unsafe. And so you being able to find your own sense of security. I totally could go into story time here. Okay. So when I was house sitting in Virginia, there was a moment where I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I don't know if I can keep, the dogs, myself, everything safe. And I had nobody to call, right? I didn't know anybody in the area. And so I just like called in my angels, called in God, and I was like, please help me keep everybody safe. And, so that nobody gets hurt, nobody gets sick, all of the things. And honestly, I was overwhelmingly felt protected. I feel like I have a hair on my nose, so I'm so sorry that I keep messing with my nose. I felt very protected by spirit, by God, by angels, and whatnot. And so, but that came from me, right? That came from me reaching out to spirit, reaching out to God, reaching out to my angels, and requesting their backup, requesting their help, just for my own peace of mind, right? So your sense of security probably needs to come from within. Anything outside of you could be crumbling around you, and you could feel very insecure and very unsafe, and that is okay. However, you got to be able to reach to something within yourself to find your sense of security and your sense of stability. And maybe that's what this Cancer full moon is really all about. So that's what I got. Okay. So we are, of course, 12/26, we got the full moon in Cancer. On the 3rd of January is the third quarter moon square in Libra. Then we will have the 1/11, January 11th, new moon in Capricorn. And then the 17th of January will be the first quarter moon square in Aries. And then we will have the full moon in Leo. So, very cardinal-ish cycle here until we get to that full moon in Leo, which will be a fixed fire full moon in Aquarius season. And that's going to happen on the 25th. And that Sun Pluto conjunction is the 20th. And Uranus goes direct on the 27th. And so lots of activity that week of January 20th to be on the lookout for. So, okay. As we move into the sun and rising signs, of course, fast forward to your rising sign, your sun sign, and whichever other signs you want to view, or whatever chapters will be time-stamped below in the description box. So let's dive in, shall we? All right, Aries, this is your forecast for the full moon in Cancer, December 26th, 2023. This is for Aries, sun, and rising. Okay, Aries, this is in your 4th house, which is, of course, your home, your emotion, your foundation, emotional intelligence, mother issues, things like that. This may be like something has surfaced that you can see now that you're like, oh, I can't let that be a thing. I got to let that go. And of course, we talk about full moons are about releasing. Something's come up since the previous new moon, which would have been the new moon in Sagittarius. And so something has surfaced around that's creating this need to release something or let something go within the area of home, foundation, emotional intelligence. Maybe it's something to do with your mom. Maybe you maybe you're going through something with your mom and you need to let some stuff go in order to recreate or rebuild a relationship with your mom. Maybe something around your emotions. You need to express some emotions to your mom in order to have a foundation of a rebuilding of a relationship with her. Maybe you are a mom and you need to like find a different, reinvent your identity around being a mom. So that's what I got for Aries for this full moon in Cancer. All right, Taurus, this is your forecast for the full moon in Cancer on December 26th, 2023. This is for Taurus, Sun, and Rising. Okay, Taurus, this is happening in your third house, which is all about your mindset and communication and whatnot. And I feel like there's something coming up that, a way of thinking about your emotions, about your foundation, about your home life that you need to release or that you're ready to release. And so, maybe you saw it very clearly this, the weekend leading up to this full moon that you're like, damn, I really need to express my emotions around that thing. Maybe you need to tell somebody how you feel. Maybe it's, so this could be about communicating your emotions. This could be about a mindset around your emotions. Like now you accept the fact that it's okay as a human to have emotions, to experience emotions. But again, it could be also you need to communicate with somebody that, how you feel about them or how you feel about a situation or whatever. So that's what I got for Taurus for this full moon in Cancer. Gemini, this is your forecast for the full moon in Cancer on December 26th, 2023. This is for Gemini, Sun, and Rising. Gemini, this is happening in your second house of self-worth, money, your value of yourself. Perhaps you are going to increase your prices of your services. Perhaps you are coming into some money. You could be receiving some money. Maybe you're going to pay off some debt, so you're going to release some money. But perhaps you are seeing your value, your personal value, your self-value at a whole new level. And so you're not willing to accept bullshit anymore in any capacity in your work, in your family life, however that shows up for you. You've seen your value at a whole new level, and you're going to now create some boundaries around other people or finances or something to that effect. So that's what I have for Gemini, Sun, and Rising. Cancer, this is your forecast for the Cancer full moon on December 26th, 2023. This is for Cancer, Sun, and Rising. Cancer, this is in your first house. This is about how your appearance and how you show up to the world. I'm pretty sure the Sag new moon was in your sixth house, where maybe you're adopting a new lifestyle. You've adopted a new lifestyle. So now it's time to like change your wardrobe to reflect your lifestyle, or just change how you show up in the world. Maybe you're going to do something different with your hair, maybe you're going to go from glasses to contacts or contacts to glasses, in order to, change your appearance and just change how you show up in the world to reflect the new version of you that you are reinventing. And so again, it could be new clothes, could be getting rid of some old clothes, all of those sorts of things. If you've lost weight, getting rid of your quote unquote skinny clothes, maybe you've put on weight. And so you're getting rid of, I guess I said that the wrong way. If you lost weight, you're getting rid of your quote unquote fat clothes. If you have gained weight, you're getting rid of your quote unquote skinny clothes. There we go. And so, whatever you've done to change your lifestyle, now it's time to update your appearance to the world to reflect this new lifestyle. So that's what I got for Cancer, Sun, and Rising. All right, Leo, this is your forecast for the full moon in Cancer on December 26th, 2023. This is for Leo, Sun, and Rising. Okay, Leo, this is happening in your 12th house, which is all about karmic cycles, endings, and whatnot. I feel like Leos need to let go of something because whatever they are holding on to that is no longer serving them is actually what's holding them back. So this could be any number of things. It could be a relationship, it could be a commitment, it could be a work thing, a career thing. But since we're talking about Cancer, it probably is something to do with home or emotions, something you may be even emotionally attached to that isn't going where you thought it was going to go, and it's time to kind of give it up and move on to something else. But whatever this is that you are dealing with is, ready to go. It's done. It's over. It's time to move on to something else. So there could be some hefty release for some Leos out there. So that's what I got for Leo, sun and rising. All right, Virgo, this is your forecast for the full moon in Cancer on December 26th, 2023. This is for Virgo, sun and rising. All right, Virgos, this is happening in your 11th house of groups, communities, and technology. And so I feel like Virgos are like that whole overthinking, overanalyzing is going to be of a Virgo's detriment as things rapidly change, right? Virgos, you're brilliant at overthinking and overanalyzing and being the analytical one. However, the world's changing too fast. And so that could actually be what is keeping you from advancing forward in a way that might emotionally stabilize you. So if you are overthinking or overanalyzing, perhaps adopting some sort of new technology or adapting to a new community or being a part of a community, you may be overthinking it, and that could be at your detriment. And so it may be time to kind of let go of some of that and try some new stuff just to see how it works. Fuck around and find out, right? You got to play with shit. You got to try stuff and see if it works. And what may happen is, when you do try new things, you could realize that, oh, that actually makes my life like 10 times easier. And then, oh, lo and behold, you're a lot more emotionally stable, right? Or you are not as freaked out or stressed out over the thing you need to be doing because now it takes you far less time and whatnot. So stop resisting change, Virgos, and and try something new. And just, be with whatever is new. Like I said, just try it on, see if it's as bad as you think it is. If it's as bad as you think it is, you can come back and comment here and say, Sarah, you were wrong. It was actually stupid. And I thought it was dumb. And I'm not going to try anything new again. Okay. I got it. It's all good. So that's what I have for Virgo, sun and rising. All right, Libra. This is your forecast for the Cancer full moon on December 26th, 2023. This is for Libra, sun and rising. All right, Libra, this is happening in your 10th house of work, career, public achievement, long-term goals, and whatnot. And so it's kind of like one of those, like, how are you showing up in public? Or what are your long-term goals that maybe are no longer in alignment with the Libra that's emerging from the eclipses, the Libra that's emerging from the South Node in Libra, all of these things. So something within you has begun to change. Even if it's a seed planted, something's begun to change, and it's a matter of checking in and making adjustments now in your career, in your long-term goals, in your public achievements. Maybe you thought you wanted to be a New York Times bestselling author, but now you're like, well, news media is stupid, so I don't actually want that. But I really do want to be a bestselling author. So it's kind of like just making like some tiny shifts so that your ambitions align with the new version of you that is emerging out of all of the transformation that's occurring with all of the Libra eclipses. And so something around that, I was just using the author thing as an example, but maybe you thought you wanted to be the, I don't know, CEO of a company, or you thought you wanted to be something, and now you've realized that, that company is stupid, or, that position does not align with what you want as far as balance in your life. And so it's just a matter of making adjustments to your long-term plans so that they reflect who you are stepping into, who you are becoming in the next, version of yourself, or the next level up of yourself. So that's what I got for Libra, sun and rising. All right, Scorpio, this is your forecast for the full moon in the full moon in Cancer on December 26th, 2023. Just wait till I have to say 2024 and I'm not going to get that right either. Oh, humanity. All right, Scorpio, thanks for bearing with me through that tongue twisting mess of things to say. Okay, this is happening in your ninth house, which ninth house is broadening your horizons. Maybe it's educational, higher education, shifting your belief systems, whatnot. I feel like with Scorpio, this Cancer full moon is actually showing you how stable you can be when you broaden, when you learn, when you step into higher education, when you shift your belief systems. Scorpios drag their ass when it comes to transformation. I happen to have some Scorpio. I have some friends and clients who have some Scorpio, and believe me, the universe has to bonk us over the head a few times for us to get the picture. However, what Scorpio gets rewarded with on the other side of that is that they learn that as they continue to broaden themselves spiritually, and when they broaden themselves to a different belief system, to a different education path, is that's where their brilliance is. And the more a Scorpio can broaden themselves and expand themselves, the more like stable they feel, because it's kind of like they got to know all of the things. And they like to know, I mean, I don't know, maybe this is just me speaking for myself, but we like to know the dark and the light, right? We can't just know all the glamorizing things, but we got to know the dark occult stuff too. And that's always fun for a Scorpio, because Scorpio is about the occult. It's psychic. It's all of those things. And so I feel like as the Scorpios step into finding their joy, finding their peace, but their peace comes from continuing to broaden their horizons, continuing to learn, continuing to educate themselves. And so there may be some release around this with a full moon in Cancer in the ninth house, is, you know, letting go of the resistance to learning completely out of left field shit that could be something of more of a psychic or occult nature. Astrology, spirituality, all of these things are occult, right? So, and I'm not saying cult, I'm saying occult, as in unseen belief systems. Okay. All right. So that's what I got for Scorpio, sun and rising. Sagittarius, sun and rising. This is your forecast for the full moon in Cancer on December 26th, 2023. This is for Sagittarius, sun and rising. All right, Sagittarius, this is in your 8th house of transformation, but it's also mergings, financial and intimate mergings. This is also a release and something to do with home and foundation, as well as maternal things. So there could be some interesting shifting in your intimate partnerships. There could be something where I feel like Sagittarius may have the breakup award for this full moon, where they're just going to be done with a situation or a relationship or a partnership, or something like that. Divorce could be a thing for Sagittarius, because they're kind of like stepping into a whole new version of themselves, and they're starting to kind of be that Jupiterian fiery person that they are, and it's wanting them to expand. And as they expand, like whoever they're with may not be willing to go with them. And so this could be an interesting transformation to witness Sagittarius sun and risings as they shift through and navigate through during this full moon and after this full moon. So that's what I got for Sagittarius for this full moon in Cancer. That's for Sag, sun and rising. Capricorn, sun and rising. This is your forecast for the full moon in Cancer on December 26th, 2023. This is for Capricorn, sun and rising. All right, Caps, this is in your 7th house of partnerships, relationships, and balance. Of course, this full moon could be on the sun could be on some of your Capricorn placements. So be aware of that this full moon could be in opposition of you or some of your Capricorn placements. But 7th house is partnerships, relationships, balance, and all of those things. And so it could be just reinventing or recreating or releasing some part of your relationship or your home life or your relationships and partnerships that is keeping your home life out of balance. And so this could mean letting go of some relationships, that kind of thing. It could be just readjusting your priorities with relationships so that you find more balance in your home situation, or even like regaining like emotional stability in relationships, like reinventing relationships, so that you find balance within your, like I said, within your home or your emotional well-being or something like that. So that's what I got for Capricorn for this full moon in Cancer. Aquarius, sun and rising. This is your forecast for the full moon in Cancer on December 26th, 2023. This is for Aquarius, sun and rising. All right, Aquarius, this is in your 6th house of daily routines, health, and whatnot. And Aquarius, you've kind of been through a lot, but you're also about to go through a lot more with Pluto. So you're kind of in this new version of yourself, and it's kind of like one of those moments of readjusting your routine, your schedule, your priorities, so that you can create more balance around your health, your routines, and whatnot. And maybe this is like you suddenly discover your circadian rhythm, and like therefore you kind of adjust your life to support your circadian rhythm, something to that effect. Maybe it's you got a new job, you got a new relationship, so it's basically just a matter of releasing what part of your schedule is no longer of a priority so that you can allow in or invite in what is a new priority that you want to focus on, and shifting your routine accordingly. So that's what I got for Aquarius, sun and rising. Pisces, sun and rising. This is your forecast for the Cancer full moon on December 26th, 2023. Excuse me, this is for Pisces, sun and rising. Okay, Pisces, this is happening in your 5th house, which is creativity, heart-centeredness, heart desire, childlike behavior, could also be childhood wounds, and whatnot. So you could be, and with Neptune present in your sign, you could be really seeing or focusing on a new creative adventure, a new creative project, or you could be shifting some things in your home life situation so that you can utilize or capitalize on your creativity. Maybe you're entertaining your inner child, maybe you're entertaining your children and having some creative fun with your children. And so really it's about releasing and releasing things that are keeping you from being creative, and or being with your children, and or releasing things that are keeping you from healing your inner child. So lots of different ways that this could go for Pisces, but that's what I got for this Cancer full moon on December 26th, 2023. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you. Of course, check the links below for booking with me and whatnot. Please like, comment, and share. Again, that really does support me in so many ways. And I really appreciate you guys tuning in to my videos and whatnot. Okay. All right. I really do appreciate you. Like I said, probably going to be taking a pretty significant social media break after I finish the 365 lives and do some wrap up posts for the end of the year 2023. Have some things that I feel like worth talking about and mentioning about how I kind of got through this year and whatnot. This was a wild ride, and I knew it was going to be. I knew when it started out super slow, I was like, wait till those nodes shifts there. It's going to flip you on your, I also knew I'm in my Uranus opposition. And so I knew some things were going to go wild. I don't know why my nose is so itchy. I'm so sorry. I promise there's no illegal anything involved. Anyway, so, and I hope that clarified some of the upcoming Aquarius energy. I think it's good. But I'm an Aquarius, so there's that. But I do feel like it's something that if you are not prepared or you're not adaptable and you're not flexible, certainly 2024 is going to spin us around like a cosmic top, because there's a lot of confusing energy about 2024, but remember that we are in a massive global size transformation. So if you've done any sort of transformation work, you know that as you are, stepping into the new, there's still the old thing. And until the old thing sort of subsides, then the new can come together. There's this moment or stretch of time where it's like super confusing. That's where we are. We're in the middle of it. Now, this whole transformation, you could say started in 2020, you could say it started in 2012, but it will last decades. And so there may not be a time in the foreseeable future where things are settled down. And so that's where that whole inner security, inner faith, inner sovereignty comes from. Being able to stand your ground when you are faced with whatever circumstantial challenges you are faced with, right? So there were definitely times this year where I don't know how I produced videos, but I did. And so all of those sorts of things. Anyway, so let me leave it there. Have a great wrap up to your year. Of course, the dailies will be here on YouTube for the Moon Astrology Tarot. I might change those to daily horoscopes, but they're not really dailies. I don't know. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see where things go in 2024. Again, please feel free to like, share, comment. I really want to boost this channel. I love that people are commenting more and more. I really appreciate that. That helps me out a lot, and whatnot. And I'm just so grateful. So as this year concludes, thank you so much for being with me on my journey, for finding me. Thank you to the universe for bringing everybody to me. There's so many astrologers that you could be watching on YouTube, and some of them for sure are full of shit, and some of them are very good. There's both, right? So, I appreciate that you tune into me. There's a lot of male astrologers out there. I'm not saying that they are good or bad. I'm saying that there's a lot of men out there that do astrology, and I'm just grateful that you tune into my feminine channel, as it is, right? So anyway, happy end of the year. Let's get ready to rock some shit in 2024. It's going to be a good year. Even if it has its own wild circumstances, which it will. Okay, thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.